Welcome back. Again, the Legal Prophet is my name, and we are still proceeding with Land Law 1. So, we are going to look at what we call the doctrine of tenants, fixtures and chattels. So, that is also an interesting topic that a student of Land Law 1 would be well equipped with. It is highly examinable and it is highly practicable, so you should properly understand it. Fixtures and chattels in land law. We first of all have to begin by knowing what is a fixture, what is a chattel. So a fixture is this something that cannot be easily removed, or meaning this is something that is directly attached on the ground, that you cannot transfer it. If you transfer it, it is either going to be damaged or it is going to damage the land. Examples of fixtures include houses, buildings. All those are examples of fixtures. It is directly resting on the land. You cannot transfer it. Now, the chattel is something that can be transferred from one place to another without causing any damage to itself or the land. A case in point can be a car, can be a bicycle, anything that can be transferred. So we have to know what is a fixture, what is a chattel, what is the effect of a chattel, what is the effect of uh, a fixture in terms of land law. So we have to know that the doctrine or the aspect of fixtures and chattels, they originate from a Latin maxim called the quick quid plantenta solo solo sedit. The quick quid plantenta solo solo sedit. This is a Latin maxim that means anything that is attached to the soil on its own weight becomes part of the soil. Anything attached directly to the land by its own weight becomes part of the land, meaning that where I construct a house on the land, that house becomes part of the land because it cannot be easily removed or easily be transferred without it being damaged or causing damage to the land. So a person who is a land law expert now should never say that I'm selling land and you only want to sell the ground and you don't want to sell the house. If you sell the land, you sell anything attached directly to it, with the house among others. So that is what we call the maxim. So now we have to know that with to know what is a fixture and to know what is a chattel, we have to know the two rules. There are two rules that differentiate between a fixture and a chattel, because you'll find that sometimes you will not be able to distinguish, is this a fixture, is this a chattel. Now the first rule is what we call the degree of annexation. So the degree of annexation, it means that the degree of annexation means like joining. How is it this is the land? How is this part directly annexed to the land? So the degree of annexation, meaning that where something is directly annexed or on the land, for example, it is resting on its own weight on the land, it becomes part of the land. For example, if I construct a house on the land directly, it rests on the land on its own weight directly. By the virtue of the degree of annexation, it becomes part of the land. The other principle is what we call the purpose of annexation. The purpose of annexation basically means what was the reason of placing that aspect on the land. Is it to develop on the land, or is it to develop the land or to help in using or to help in proper use of the land? For example, the purpose of annexation. If I attach a bulb in a lamp holder, the purpose is one, to give me light or to help me properly use this house. So by virtue of purpose, it does not become a fixture, but rather it is a chattel, because I can remove it properly because it is not directly resting onto the land, and the purpose was for me to use, not to develop the land. So you look at the degree of annexation. How is it resting on the land? What is the purpose of it being placed onto that land? Is it to develop or to improve in the use of the land? So these are the two principles a person should know. Now, the degree of annexation, where you don't want something to be part of the land, you don't allow it to rest on its own weight. That's why when you move around the town, you'll see these electricity poles, these traffic lights, among others. They first construct a slab down, then they place that pole and they put it with screws, meaning that they don't intend it to become part of the land. That's why they don't want it to rest on the land directly, meaning that that one is not a fixture, but rather it is a chattel, because it is not directly resting onto the land by its own weight, but rather it is resting on something else which can be easily transferred. So these are the two principles that help in ascertaining what is a chattel and what is a fixture. Then the other thing is that we have to know, we are going to see that what are the different classifications of fixtures. So fixtures can be classified into majorly two types of fixtures. There is what we call the landlord fixture, and there is what we call the tenant fixture. So what is the landlord fixture? What is the tenant fixture? Be careful with this. A landlord fixture, this is a fixture that has been placed by a tenant. A case in point, I come and rent a house in Chibuli. When I rent a house in Chibuli, I find that house maybe having a wooden door. I decide to buy, me the tenant, omupangisa, I buy a metallic door, I place it within to replace that wooden door. That metallic door has been bought by me the tenant, but I'm fixing it into the landlord's premise. So when I fix it there, it becomes a landlord fixture. Reason being, at that time you cannot remove that door without causing damage to the land of or to the house of the landlord. So the thing is bought by the tenant but cannot be easily removed or transferred by the tenant while he's leaving the house. I've given you a very good example. You find a house not having a proper door. You want to replace it with a very good door. So when you intend to replace it with a very good door, you automatically cause damage to the building. So at that time it becomes a landlord fixture. Then there is what we call the tenant fixture. So the tenant fixture, again, this is a fixture that has been placed, or this is something that has been placed. So for landlord fixture, the tenant will not remove it. But for a tenant fixture, the fixture has been placed, something has been placed by the tenant or mupangisa, but for it, while you are living, you the tenant, you are by law authorized to take it away. You have the right to take it away, meaning that these are fixtures that include one, agricultural fixtures, ebintu ebyokulima n'ebirala. Those ones you can take them away. You can take another known as ornamental fixtures. For example, if you come up with a very nice painting and place it into the house of the landlord, you can, at the end of it, even if you tied it there, you can at the end of it remove it, because by nature it is transferable. That is the ornamental fixture. There is what we call the agricultural fixture, and the other one is what we call the business or the trade fixture, meaning that if you placed something for purposes of trade or for business, even if it is attached to the land, it is supposed to be taken by the tenant. So when they ask you what are these fixtures in law that can be transferred or that can be removed from the land and be taken away, there are three. One, there is what we call agricultural fixture. Two, ornamental fixtures, things for beautifying your house, agricultural products. Three, trade fixtures or the business fixtures. Only those are the three fixtures that can be transferred or that can be removed from the land by someone. However, you will see that in the aspect of landlord fixtures, there are situations where a person can be given, a landlord will be required by law to compensate the tenant for the developments made, where he allowed him to proceed, or he authorized him that please go on, and he came up with a improvement, and at this time he's leaving. So that time they will authorize the landlord to compensate adequately the tenant. So basically those are what we call the fixtures and chattels. Equip yourself with these rules. When you understand these principles, you'll be good to go. Thank you very much.